Hello, Fightful Faithful. Welcome to another episode of it's Tuesday. And we do a show on Tuesdays talking about a show that is also on Tuesdays. And we review that show as best we can.
To Tuesdays.
Or as best we can't tonight. So
this is the Sour Grabs NXT post show for August 19th. Get in your super chats, get in your humper chats, get in your baby puns because Naomi is pregnant. We're so
baby puns
happy for her. NXT from Philly. They made a big to-do about it, and we're going to make a big to-do about this because that's just what we do here at Sour Grabs. We're trying to score some puppets, okay? Mm-hmm. We're going to go all out. C. Delgado asking if we can talk about ZSJ and Nigel again tonight. We could talk about ZSJ and Nigel for the rest of my life if you want, but we're going to talk about some NXT. There was a peace treaty, which honestly, I felt like international legislative motions should main event because it seems pretty consequential, but it did not. We're going to talk about a lot of things that we got on here tonight. So get in those super chats and humper chats. Also subscribe to the old FightfulSelect.com and listen. There's a lot going on back there. Sean used to do a Q&A. And like a couple times a week, he would also do select answers. Now he does a Q&A and he does select answers for you like every day. So you've got a lot going on back there in addition to the scoop skis. Mm-hmm. There was some information on Adam Priest, a rumor killer on that. He is not signed to AEW and ROH, but he is making a lot of appearances there and doing a great deal. But there was some confusion about that. So we got the scoop on that. There's plenty. We got an update Housen on Danhausen's contract this week. There's a lot going on. And you get me and Alex yippity yapping behind the paywall quite a bit as well. But today we're doing it on the main. We're talking about NXT. Alex saw every minute of the show, which is important. So his eyes were glued.
I did not. I would have watched. As I do every week. I mean, under protest as much as possible because of this show, but for the second time all season, my local affiliate preempted the broadcast of NXT with WNBA game. And so, as happened the first time, I'm watching NXT on this TV right now, just 2 hours late.
We should do. I review it and you do a watch along at the same time. What, like dueling pianos? We'll yap about it the whole time.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But
Alex, you know how you could avoid such a thing? It's not even supposed to be their night.
Like, I totally get it. Yeah,
you could with NordVPN. I'm not going to play NordVPN. The full ad or anything.
Yeah,
but I will say, like, it's a pretty good deal because you can just say you're in Canada. And you also get free healthcare. That's not true. That would be cool if you set your VPN to different places and you got like their policies. But NordVPN, man, you just set it to a different country. You get all of your WWE content on.
I wouldn't
Netflix
even have to say I was in a different country. I could just say I was in a different market that doesn't have a WNBA team, and then I'd be fine. But apparently,
it's true.
No,
but I like to go to Canada for my NXT, my SmackDown, and my Raw. Mm-hmm. Also, we'll keep your connection safe. Yeah. Also, we'll save you money on pay-per-views if you happen to travel to a different country with the old Forbidden Door coming up. Yep. So, quite genuinely, like the best use that someone can get out of a VPN, I feel like, is a wrestling fan. But yeah. That's how I watched it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm just like a little bit more prepared.
How I watched it was on clips via social media. And according to a rundown that I looked at, I missed like two things that were not somewhere on social media. Backstage segments, clips of the promo that we hate, and enough gifs of all the matches that I kind of figured out what. Listen, as long as you know what the dumb finish was, you pretty much figure out what the match is. You know what I mean? So, the one thing I did want to talk about is I don't know the name because I wasn't watching when they said it. I don't know the name of the venue, but it's like a proscenium theater where like there's a stage and then the people are on one side of the theater and they are sloping toward the orchestra pit, and then up on the stage is so that are all the people on one side of the ring. It looks like it. And also there's like you have to go down. You go down. There's there's the ring, and then there's the ringside area, and then you could just like go down to another level and be on the level where the people are. And I was like, that's really great. And then I was like, oh God, Javon Evans is wrestling a match during this. Tope Hero to the wrong side, or he's going to end up with a broken spine. Turns out he ended up with a broken spine from a different thing. He's just really good at not selling it.
This was at the Met in Philly, which I've been to for. Yes, not the Met. Like most things, Philly likes to knock off New York and make it worse.
Right.
So no, but I've been there for.
It was at the concerts. Metropolitan Museum of Philadelphia.
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
And I've been there for shows before, not wrestling shows, but for music, and it's a really, really cool venue.
Yeah.
I didn't know how they would configure it for wrestling. Like it's one of those, but they found a way. These smaller venues, I feel the same way with AEW. Like they just read so well on screen because arenas and stadia just don't have the character that a lot of these buildings do. So yeah, I like it when we get unique personalities.
I like new venues. This one just was so odd because of the one side of the ring you were not allowed to do dives toward.
It was also either the crowd didn't care very much or it wasn't mic'd well, or both.
It was both.
It seemed like a little both. You know what? I was actually thinking about this during the peace treaty. Yeah. I was like, oh no, because this.
You were like, oh no, another peace treaty segment. Can't they stop doing these?
No, I was like, Philadelphia historically loves heels.
Mm-hmm.
And Philadelphia historically doesn't love goofy shit. So I was like, Chelsea's going to get cheered and nothing else is going to get pulled from this. But when you think of certain crowds and their personalities versus the timbre of a product, these feel kind of far away. So I kind of thought they would have an uphill mountain to climb because Philly is Philly. Like they have jails in their stadia. Like this is, and NXT, for better or for worse, is a much more playful presentation. So I thought this was going to be tricky. They won them over in some parts, but overall, very, very much a roller coaster. Very much a roller coaster. But you're right. Like I don't know if they figured out a good wrestling setup for this venue.
Yeah,
it was a little tricky.
It was a 4-match card, which is odd for an episode of NXT. But they needed the two promo segments, the one that made us all cringe and the other one that made us cringe in a different way. So they needed those
beautiful when you think about
to spice things up. But we started with the Philadelphia street fight between Inamura and Briggs. And again, I'm watching this as it's happening right now, but it started ahead of time. Briggs decided to did a little leg up before the whole thing started, and they fought down to the ring, and Briggs had replaced the skull on his on his shoulder, on his Paul drone. He replaced
Yeah.
that with a mask from Ghost of Tsushima, which is a video game about feudal Japan. So he was like, I'm going to stick it to Inamura and use this video game memorabilia. And that'll do it. Yeah, a lot of weapons used. At one point, Inamura has his wrists duct taped to the top ring rope for about 18 seconds, because just long enough to get a few shots in with a kendo stick, and then I'll just take those off. Thank you very much. And then, there was in what was maybe one of the silliest uses of the hometown team heat. Inamura comes out, he brings out a Phillies baseball bat that he's going to hit Briggs with. You know, yay, the babyface is using our team's baseball bat to beat the brains in of the bad guy. And then he got hit in the legs with a chair, and so he dropped the bat. But the thing that happened was then Briggs picked up the bat, and then he held it out in front of him and dropped it on the mat. And then Booker T said, "Oh, mic drop." It's a bat. And I don't think it's not like it's the end of the match. I don't know, it's a weird way to say it there. But then the funny thing was that he stomped on the bat, doing no damage to the bat itself, and then looked at the camera like, what do you think about that, Philadelphia Phillies fans? And that was just very silly and dumb to me.
Do you want to talk about how it ended?
Well, I want to talk about how it ended, because Inamura hit him over the big splash and went through a table, and then somehow Briggs got out of that, and then he gained control. I think it was like, oh, that's what it was. He shoved him into the corner with the so that the table hit him right in the Slim Jims, and
there were a lot of Slim Jim shots today.
And then he put him on the table himself and did a moonsault, kind of, because it looks like he should have put him on the table a little closer to the turnbuckle, because the moonsault connected. He's got big legs. He's
a really tall dude. He's also a long dude.
He's got
long legs, man.
He's a big-legged fellow.
He is.
So the weight of his legs was enough to break the table. But he landed like head first, and his legs went flop on top, like he didn't clear the moonsault. So the funny thing about it is I watched the clip of him missing the moonsault, and thank God he didn't kill himself, but the legs barely caught Inamura. And that's the finish, so I guess we'll go home on it. And I'm watching it thinking, man, he did not get all of it. And then on the second loop of the video clip I was watching, I turned on the sound. And the first thing I hear is Booker T say, "Got all of it." And I'm like, no, that is he got half of it. He got from the waist down of it. He did not get all of it. So Briggs gets the victory over Inamura. And I guess with intrigue here developing, walks past Ricky St. Starks, who's making his entrance and does a little stare down. We had to move right into the next match because we needed all that time for Jordynne Grace to read a scripted promo that made the whole situation worse somehow. But so yeah, I Briggs versus Ricky St. Starks is such an odd choice to go from the Jasper Troy thing we're about to talk about, which I like the account that was tweeting out video clips of the night was thorough, like 8, 9, 10 clips, which were all 45 seconds to a minute and a half long. Like we're like showing a lot of the matches, so I could stay abreast of what was going on. This match, Jasper Troy and Ricky St. Starks, two clips. And And so three. Sorry, there was the senton that Jasper Troy missed on the steps, and then there was a Samoan drop from Ricky St. Starks, and then there was the tornado DDT. So I don't know. All I have to go on is those 3 clips from a 9-minute match. So you'll have to tell me if it was as bad as it looked.
So Briggs and Inamura. First of all, anytime a wrestling show starts where there's fighting right away,
Right.
I miss when AEW would do that. Like they used to open every Dynamite like that. I love with that, and with the street fights, I feel like that's even better because it's like, oh, we're getting started. That's fun. I remain of the belief that if it's a street fight, you need to go out in the street, especially in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Especially if you were brawling before the bell started or before the show started, just have the cameras following them in from the street. It's a street fight. It's not an around the ring fight. Go on the street.
Yeah.
I felt like before this, and I remain steadfast in my belief that I thought that I actually really liked a lot of the construction of the match. I thought it was pretty well done. The ending was unfortunate, but I just feel like, and I know you were a big cut the BS and let's get to the blow off guy. It just never felt like the betrayal between the two matched the need for this level of violence for these kinds of stakes. Right. That's not on the fault of the performers. I actually really liked a lot of this street fight. I thought there was some really good stuff in this. I'm not a big table to the nuts gal. Like I don't wish that really upon anyone. But there were a lot of things I liked. The bat thing was so funny and corny because not only did it happen exactly as you said, but the camera shot was like what they used for Mr. Iguana looking over somebody who just betrayed him. Like it was so dramatic, and I was like, but he's just stepping on a bat. Like I understand the logo, but I was like, he's just stepping on it.
Yeah.
The only thing that comes of that is you probably rolling your ankle. Like joke's on you.
Yeah, also
dude.
like I don't know, Briggs doesn't strike me as much of a Mets fan. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know what. Maybe he's a Braves fan because he feels like maybe he's a Georgia kid. But like I don't know. Like it's.
He's like yelling about Francisco weird. Lindor. Yeah, I don't. Think
also, like here's the thing: they actually used the bat for a spot later. With
it was compromised from all the stepping.
Well, that's the thing is that. Here's the deal. They put Briggs in a trash can, like on top of his head, down to his waist, and then Inamura was chopping the trash can, because he's drunk style. But then he picks up the bat and actually hits the trash can with the bat. And I was like, if you didn't have that spot, the thing to do would be to like rig the bat because it was never used for anything other than the threat of hitting him. Like rig the bat a little bit and have him do a Bo Jackson, like snap the bat over his leg. You know what I mean? Because at least then would look like it would look like, oh, this dude's strong. Like it would look something as opposed to like, I stepped on your bat. What do you think about that, Phillies fans? Huh?
I also can't even imagine from the live crowd because I doubt the live crowd could see it. Maybe it was on a big screen. But if you're a live crowd, you're like, why is this guy stepping on his bat? Like, you're not seeing the logo if you're in the crowd. So I hope they at least played it for on the big screen. But other than that, like I thought the street fight was well done. I just didn't feel like the story matched the need for violence. Ricky Saints and Jasper Troy 2 felt a lot like Ricky Saints and Jasper Troy 1, except there was not a prop malfunction. In that, well, first of all, they added chain sound effects to Jasper Troy's theme, and he's getting more chains.
He's chainier.
He's chainier. Jasper Troy, more like
we
Jasper
just gotta hope
Cheney.
he's not. We gotta hope he doesn't become Dick Chainier. because that would be that's a kerfuffle in the Middle East we don't want to get into. So
we don't. Though I'm feeling like a Dick Cheney is some sort of low blow with the chain finisher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
I
going to be
think about that.
his signature low blow in the video game is going to be called the Dick Cheney.
That's it.
Yeah.
We figured it out.
It
was this again, the stuff he does good, he does very well.
Yeah,
the stuff he does bad, he looks like a lost puppy dog in the ring. There was one point where I was like, I don't know what that was. It was like he was doing a running bulldog, but he was walking and standing because he's so big.
Yeah.
So he just kind of waved his crotch over Ricky Saints at one point. It felt like it was like people who have not had a lot of reps.
Yeah.
When you get thrown off by something not going exactly how it's supposed to, you get very disoriented in the ring. That just means you need more guidance and reps. And I feel like when you have 74 other ecosystems where you can go take those reps, NXT is now like kind of leapfrogged where those are as far as the learning curve goes. Like I don't think he should be in a feud with Ricky Saints because I don't think he's ready for it. I will say
not anymore. Now Ricky Saints is feuding with Briggs.
Now, see, that's weird, but I can at least appreciate the usage of Ricky Saints in that.
Well, here's the thing: it's the same usage. As you said, that there's lots of different ways to use Ricky Saints to the best of his ability. Like generic underdog babyface against giant guys would not be in my top 10 ways of using Ricky Saints.
No, it's kind of interesting though, because I was watching it and I was like, Ricky Saints is really good at the underdog babyface thing, and it's not even a top 5, top 10 way I would use him. But when I say the usage of him, I mean, I feel like Josh Briggs could gain something from a feud with Ricky Saints.
Just like that's the whole thing, is that if what you're doing is if you've hired Ricky Saints as a player coach, then yeah, absolutely get Briggs some reps working with Ricky Saints, who's very, very good at this. But if you've hired Ricky Saints because he's one of the best on the mic in the world and a really great worker and could be a gigantic star for your company, then I don't really give a damn about Jasper Troy and Josh Briggs getting in reps with him. I care about what you're doing with Ricky Saints because he's tremendous and they should use him as such.
It's a little tricky because this men's division is so thin. They need people who feel important. Yeah. And they need people to feel important by working with people that feel important. And there's just not a lot of that going around the NXT men's singles roster right now, unfortunately. So I get what I interpret as the intention with that. But I'm also like, it feels like we're just wasting time until he shows up in Royal Rumble, probably. Like, I mean, I guess, feels like it. Like, people aren't being drafted now. They're just like, guess what? LA Knight's on Raw now. Okay, cool. Yeah. Like, I don't know how we're going about roster delineation anymore.
It is very funny because RM says, I worry about main roster usage for anyone in WWE under 35, unless the name is Braun Breaker. He's kind of stuck at the moment. It's been 6 months. Well, let me tell you how old Ricky Starks is. He is 35 years old. You don't think that he is, but he is 35 years old. Only 3 years until his big push. But I feel like you could use him to do something other than helping the big kids learn how to work a baby face. You know what I mean? Like you could do other things with him.
It was weird that the title reign went the way it did.
It was very odd because
like,
I thought
either
they were going to hot potato
strap
it.
him up, or
I thought they were going to hot potato it. It was going to just become this really cool rivalry. Ethan Page and Ricky Saints. I thought you could do a really cool thing there, but like it was like, now I got to deal with Jasper Troy. Okay, I've dealt with him, but this other large fella decided to make his presence known to me, so I guess I've got to have at least a couple of matches with that guy. I don't know.
Oh no, that guy is also around. Must mean we're fighting.
Must mean we're fighting.
I feel very disoriented having my hair down. Can I just vocalize that?
You
My
can.
hair's
Everyone's giving you crazy compliments in the chat.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's just been so damn hot all summer that my hair has always been up, and now I'm like, oh my god, I have hair that I can feel on the back of my neck. So if I'm constantly fiddling with it, it's because it's freaking me out.
No, what you are is you are a WWE female talent making their way to the ring. You have to touch your hair as you walk.
I am by Elegance today.
Yeah. So okay. Hank and Tank want to know which dark state guys they're facing. She doesn't know. She's the general manager. She doesn't know. Later, she basically asks them and they won't tell her. And I feel like there's some disciplinary stuff that could be done there. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Then here comes in the Elegance concierge.
Who once again is not Carlos Silva.
He's not Carlos Silva, but he's a little guy with glasses, and he doesn't have a hat. If he had the hat, he would be Carlos Silva. I'm sorry. If he had the hat, there would be no evidence to the contrary. That man would be Carlos Silva. I'm sorry, but he's not. I have been informed in the SGS Discord that his name is George Ice.
Unfortunate right now.
That man is not named George Ice. I've seen that man. The little guy with the glasses, George Ice, is not his name. That is not. That's too close to George the Iceman Gervin, the fantastic NBA player from the late 70s and early 80s, who perfected the finger roll. No, George. That is not the Iceman George Gervin. Only one man can be George Ice, and that is George the Iceman Gervin.
I feel like he should be George by Elegance.
His name is actually George Iceman. Maybe his name is George Iceman, like Peterman, like Jay Peterman he's not Jay Peterman. He's G Iceman, and he runs a catalog for urban adventurers.
I feel like he should be George by Elegance. I feel like you have to be by Elegance. You have to be in the vicinity of Elegance.
His name should be George Elegance. He is the man who produces the fragrances, and he gave Ash has her own personalized fragrance. So does Heather. So does M. They all have their own personalized fragrance made by Elegance. Although he calls himself George Elegance.
We're really good at this.
I've made it so much better. Why do I do this to myself?
I don't know.
No, wait. He is not friends with Lou Booten. He's not friends with Lou Booten. That's not a thing that he is. Stop making up stories. Only I'm allowed to make up stories.
Genuinely loved that you didn't know Louis Vuitton was spelled that way.
George Ice Train. Listen, if you've only ever heard the name pronounced,
it looks weird.
And then you see that, you feel like it's somebody who's
Lou Booten.
It looks like his name is Lou Booten.
It was delightful.
It's my uncle's friend who runs an auto body shop.
Yeah.
Booten Auto Body.
Come on down to Lou Booten's Auto Body Shop.
You got dings, you got dents. Come on down to Lou's. I'll fix it up for you.
There you go.
George is the father of the Elegances.
He should be George L. Elegance. That should be his name.
I like that.
Thank
George
you. I do
L.
too. I'm a genius.
And the L stands for Lou Booten.
Playing chess, not checkers over here. Thank you very much.
John says Alex thinks more about their backstories than TNA does.
We also think more about their booking because nobody.
I'm available for a modest consulting fee. That's all I'm saying. So okay. Anyway, he introduces the Elegance brand. Masha apparently just like FaceTimed with Ava over the weekend to say, I'd like to be the special guest referee. And Ava's like, yeah, cool. I don't plan anything around here anyway. So, and,
But neither do the GMs on the main roster. She's
right,
learning.
that is true. She is learning from the best. So, yeah, so that's, yeah. So they
And Corey Graves calls her ugly a bunch for no reason, basically. He called her a sea urchin.
Who?
Corey Graves. I believe called her a sea urchin. Masha.
Called who? Masha.
Yeah.
Can we do a quick program where Masha rips his arms out of its sockets?
I mean, honestly, we could.
Can we do that? Anyway, he says you can't allow Masha to be guest referee because she's biased, and she's standing there in her wrestling outfit and in her referee outfit, and he and then says, "Look at her face. That's bias." And Ava says, "One thing I did like tonight." She says, "That's just her face."
That made me laugh out loud because that's Twitter Ava, who we love, coming to life.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna cede the floor to you to talk about the Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe thing. I have thoughts, but I want you to get your thoughts out first.
We'll just start with this. Jordynne Grace came out, and she, respectfully, is hot as hell. Look at this woman,
especially in the outfit they put her in tonight.
Oh my God,
you know what I mean? Like,
I would kill for the quads to waist ratio on this woman. Are you kidding? And I know that these are like old issues of her body. This angle doesn't work when you look like Jordynne Grace. She looks amazing. I love her hair like this. I love her makeup like this. She looks phenomenal. You could see her leg muscles busting out of her jeans. Like she is a goddess. God, I just think of what could have been if they handled this angle correctly. Because the positive that I'll say about it is it feels sincere from Jordynne Grace's perspective. Like it feels like maybe it was a story she wanted to tell. I wouldn't believe it would be in this way. But like when her voice kind of gets a little bit quieter and more sincere, and there's certain inflections and pauses, you just feel the sincerity of that, the authenticity of that, and that part is great. What's bad about it, other than the fact that look at her, is her just like there's so many obstacles with me with this because I don't buy that she's not a winner, and I don't buy that she's unattractive. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. Like I know that's what they want us to believe because she hasn't gotten a lot of wins and she hasn't won titles in her title shots. But when I see her in a match like she had against Julia or whatever, or I see her in the ring, I don't buy that she's some sort of dejected loser at all. And because we quite literally just have not seen Blake Monroe wrestle that much, I don't buy that she's intimidated by Blake Monroe. Like I really don't. I really don't buy it. And then you have Blake come out, and she comes out with security, and she says that their match is off if she lays a hand on her. And I'm like, said who? Did Ava say that? Is it in the?
I drew up a contract that says if you touch me, the match is off. And
Jordynne didn't sign.
It. But did Jordynne sign it? Because she didn't agree to not do that. If she didn't agree to not do that, then that's not a binding contract.
Which she later said on social media, by the way. And then on top of that, Jordynne like takes out the whole security squad to scare her. And I'm like, so she can take out 5 men no problem. And I'm supposed to buy that she's intimidated about wrestling Blake Monroe? Like, none of this lines up. None of this lines up. And I get that. I feel as though the intent was you could be a big, strong, badass who looks amazing and
Right.
still have these insecurities. But when they fumble the storytelling in the way that they have, it's so disconnected, man. And it breaks my heart because I think there's actually really productive things they could have done with it. And I feel like they've done a terrible job handling it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I also don't like Blake Monroe as a one-dimensional mean girl.
Yeah.
Like, what I love about the glamour was she was playing chess all the time. Like,
Right.
there's a cleverness to that, and they seem to have just ironed that out of her. So I there's all these disconnects for me of the fact that I throw me down the stairs, Jordynne Grace. You look amazing, and also like I just don't buy that you're weak. I just don't buy it. So it's not great. I do have high hopes for the match because
the match
I think
should be
could
tremendous until the stupid storyline they put in it. Like here, so in the match, somehow Blake walks down with a little. You could see this. Herb flouncing down to the ring with a little handbag, you know, and she sets it down by her ring spot. And then during the match, she crawls over to get away from Jordynne Grace to her handbag and pulls out a mirror, a little hand mirror, and shows it to Jordynne, who goes, which gives her enough of a distraction for Mariah May to hit her with it. You know what I mean? Like that is the kind of storytelling I am expecting from this match. That no matter how great the wrestling is between two fantastic women wrestlers, that the storytelling they're going to bake into the bones of the match is going to be so borderline offensive in its stupidity that it's going to ruin whatever great work they do bell to bell, because that's the kind of stuff they do with these kinds of stories that they write. The match that comes out of the story is somehow worse because they try and do some kind of little shorthand retelling of the story within the match.
The idiot in me is optimistic that they think that this has gotten personal enough that hopefully they won't do that. But Alex, I was thinking about this. I was at the beach a couple weeks ago, and there was a family there that one kid was constantly trying to run to the water without adult supervision, and the mom was chasing him. And then the daughter was just screaming bloody murder the whole time. Miserable, didn't want to be in the sun, very overstimulated by everything that was going on. And as they were packing up, the dad said, well, the important thing is that none of us had fun, as a joke, which I found hilarious in the moment. And from the mom's facial expression, I could tell she was going to think was really funny in 20 minutes from then.
Yeah.
But when I think about things like Piggy James and those storylines, my brain goes to, well, at least we learned absolutely nothing, because these conversations still exist and these feelings still exist, and you can tell stories about these issues on screen, but like, can we evolve a little bit past the stupidity part and add some emotional attachment to any of this instead of you were fat 4 years ago, which is basically what this has been. I sounded much more like Austin Powers than Mariah May.
I'm sorry, Blake Monroe. All of a sudden, you were fat 4 years ago.
You know what I kind of sounded like? Wasn't forgetting Sarah Marshall.
No satisfaction.
We're forgetting Sarah Marshall is mocking Aldous, and she goes, I'm Aldous Snow. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. That was kind of what I sounded like. Spinal Tap's a good shout.
So now I can't quite pick it out are there fans on the hard cam side? There aren't. She's doing the entire promo with her butt to the audience. She's just standing there facing the hard cam. There's no paying members of the crowd there. And everyone sitting in the crowd is just like, is there a Titantron they can see what we at home see? I don't know. I hope. That was just very awkward. I'm going to come out here and talk about all my insecurities while everyone can just look at my butt. It's a weird thing to do. Also, she cuts this very, very sincere sounding promo that did read as being very scripted, but she did her best with it. And then Blake's music hits and Corey Graves goes, upgrade! I would say it's a lateral move. Both these women are incredibly hot. But if you're looking at Jordynne Grace and thinking you need an upgrade, I mean, come on. Like, that's...
he quote unquote has to do it for the story, right? But this is where the story falls apart, is look at Jordynne Grace. I can't keep going back enough to look at Jordynne Grace tonight.
Oh my God.
She walked out and I laughed out loud because I knew what was coming. And I was like, look, especially tonight. Like, she always looks great, but my God. Tonight I was like, oh, my girl.
Jordynne Grace saying that I think you're actually the one who's jealous. Why do either of you have to be jealous?
Well, because they're women and we know no other way.
But I mean, can't they just not like each other and want to fight? And I'm like, like the idea of like, you're what did she say? You're a reject playing a superstar. Reject from where? From whom? Who rejected Jordynne Grace? Like, she wrestled in the Royal Rumble as the TNA Knockouts champion.
She's had multiple title shots.
A reject from what place and from what organization?
She's a reject because she's from Uglyville.
I get it. Okay, so
because she's so ugly.
She did take out all of the security people, including the last guy who looks like Dave Franco, honestly. And he ran away without actually being touched. He was so scared of her. But then like, you can't touch me, but then she does. She grabs her by the wrist and pulls her really close and says, on Sunday, I'm going to show you what ugly really looks like.
Yeah, like, she didn't sign a contract that said she can't put her hands on her. So my thing is, why didn't she just beat the hell out of her right then and there?
I don't know. It's so weird.
I guess because she's the face and she doesn't have to resort to such measures. But anyway, she looked amazing. So did Blake. She looks great. But like,
yeah,
the story isn't about her being ugly.
Like they've managed. Hold on. I want to go ahead and just use visual aids for this. When we were talking about Mariah May, looks like she might jump ship from AEW and go to WWE. And if she goes to NXT, if you had said, who do you want her to wrestle? I mean, at the time, Julia and Stephanie were still there. So probably they would have been 1 and 2. But number 3, not far below the other two, would have been Jordynne Grace. Like, I would be so excited to see that. So somehow they have turned me from this and made it into this storyline. I haven't plugged it in. It needs to be charged. I need to charge.
But the point stands that it is a dumpster fire. It went from shut up, take my money.
I should be so excited to watch Mariah May versus Jordynne Grace. And honestly, I'm not excited about it because I think that the storyline's gonna be so terrible.
It probably will. I would have honestly have gone Julia, Jordynne, Steph. Just from a stylistic standpoint.
Right.
But it is they have managed to make it really not great, which is sad. But I will say, we have this chat from Patrick Moore who says, I really like the Jordynne Grace.
Yeah.
But the promo work just doesn't hit for me, which sucks because she's trying to embody an authentic experience. Feels like she and Blake are getting buried in this feud. Yeah, it doesn't it feels like they insisted on scripting something that she could probably talk about pretty naturally. I also did want to chime in that my dad, who is here every week, has to be up early and couldn't watch, but he did say hi to JW Pringle for me. So
okay, well, this is you.
I shouldn't have read it because send in the money, Dad, please.
Right.
Lord knows you haven't spent enough of that on me in your life.
Jampier says WWE saw the cinematic classic Mariah May and decided to turn that character into a 5th sequel straight to cassette version, not even DVD or Blu-ray.
I think they're just. This happens with developmental too, and acclimating to different environments. They're swinging and missing on what the glamour is, in my opinion. Because she's not a mean girl like every other heel at NXT. There was a lot of chess playing with her, but a lot of cleverness with her, a lot of her being a step ahead of everybody. It wasn't like cheap shots. She was smart. She's intelligent, and combined with her bad attitude and her stunning looks and her in-ring style, it made for a really interesting wrestling character. So I hope they just pivot in that direction instead.
Yeah. Jim Dukers says that Sour Nation does not suck.
It does not. Thank you, Big Jim.
It does not.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So the Fatal Influencers are backstage, and they're they're not even the most. They're not the best female faction ever. They're just a bunch of fragrances. She doesn't say that, but she should have said that. And then Lainey walks in and it's like, hey, why don't you show them why you're the most dominant champ? I intend to. And like, so Lainey's just gonna kiss ass until Jasmine gets replaced by Lainey Reed. Because Jasmine's like, I'm so glad we get to do this together. And then both Fallon and JC Jane roll their eyes so hard that they become the Undertaker.
They choke slam Trick Williams immediately. It's so weird.
Then Sol and Zarya walk in.
I was just gonna say, like, Lainey fits in that group so much better. I feel like I actually don't mind. It's a silly story, but she fits in that group way better.
I mean, yeah, it's I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Fatal Influence group. I think there's some really the JC and Fallon are great workers. It just feels
it's just a tired archetype.
It's here's the thing. It's so weird watching Debbie Gibson Hack Girl from Toxic Attraction and the Horse Girl as friends, because in 2022 that would have never been possible. Like, it doesn't make sense that they're hanging out together and have been forever. I just don't like it.
Well, you're right, but that was also like kind of came to fruition when they were like, hey, everyone got called up. We need you to turn heel right now, Fallon, for no reason.
It was very weird and bad. But Sol and Zarya walk up and they're like, well, I'm the other double champ. It's like, yeah, but at least she defends hers. Says Lainey to Sol, and like, I think I feel the need for speed. Like, is that just becoming an NXT championship now that you'll defend here because they don't do that anymore on Twitter?
I don't know if they've ever like truly acknowledged it on screen either.
She has worn it to the ring on many occasions. Like, she's actually referred to herself as a double champ at least 3 times that I know of on NXT. Like, but she's the only person, male or female, I have ever seen as champ wear the title on television. They're allowing it to be a thing for her, and only her and nobody else, but I don't know why.
Well, that's what's so weird. You get them, double champ. I'll just.
I mean, I'm all for Sol Ruka wrestling more.
But not 3-minute matches for a Twitter
No.
championship.
I don't know what they're doing with that title. But her versus Laney Reed could be really good.
Yes. That actually sounds like a lot of fun.
What am I saying? Stop all of this and just do Sol versus Zarya. Like, that's a thing we've been wanting now for months and months and months, and I don't know.
If you're not going to do that, I am interested in Laney Reed and Sol. I think that combination could be very, very fun.
Yeah. So the fragrances versus the influencers it's good. I was impressed with what I saw from the other ladies who are not Dana Brooke. And
especially Maggie Lee, I think was a bit of a standout tonight. Maybe because people just like haven't gotten to see her, but
I've never seen either of them before.
Okay.
Ever, not once, not ever. And my favorite thing about them is when they stand in a line, it looks like a cartoon. You know how like the shorthand they would do back in like the Flintstones era, if there were 3 characters, one of them had to be very short, one of them had to be very tall, and then the other one, the most important one, was the medium one. And that's just the way that they're standing in a line, and I was like, that's fantastic. I sometimes I can have a lizard brain that just wants to be tickled by short girl, medium girl, tall girl. I don't know why that tickled me. I was not aware that one of the fragrances was a travel size. I was not aware that you get 2 spritzes out of that bottle and then it's done. It's cashed. You got to get another bottle. She was teeny tiny.
The former Dana Brooke is not super tall, and she towers over.
She's a 1.5 feet taller and a 1.5 feet shorter somehow. There's a 3 foot discrepancy between the tall one and the bottom one, and the one in the middle is right in the middle. It's great.
You can be elegant at any height, which is great.
Which is nice.
Heather by Elegance, if you were familiar with the Indies, was Heather Monroe on the Indies for a long time. She's great. And Maggie Lee is up there with Brittany Brooks, I think, as a lot of people felt like some gals who were in the next crop up. And I really, really liked what we saw out of both of them tonight, but Maggie especially, or M, as it were.
Yeah.
I feel like her selling was quite good.
She looks like Darren Spivey in there. She's so damn tall. She's one of the twin towers. Where's the other tower? It's crazy. She's huge. She's really not. What is she like?
They said 5'11". She's listed as
only 5'11". She looks 6'4". You know what I mean?
Well, nobody else in there is very tall. There's most of them are on the shorter side. I will say it's not the type of booking that I like, but I feel like JC Jane and Fallon Henley do it very well. I feel like JC Jane's very good at navigating matches like this. They're just kind of all the same. But JC has a really good feel, I think. I noticed that on the Slammiversary match too, that she had. She can, when there's that many people in the ring, knowing how to be an architect is a really important skill. And I felt like she's really, really good at that. I, for one, was shocked that TNA talent did not go over on an NXT show. That never happens.
I thought they were due. I thought they were due. You know what I mean? Listen, they're not going to go 0 for 20 in this homestand. At some point, they're going to break through with a little blooper over the shortstop. But they're going 0 for 20 in the homestand. That's a tough one.
20. They're going 0 for 20.
That's rough.
Even with the champion who has a losing her way to success character, they have still managed.
Is the easiest to beat champion. She's just beating everybody. She actually gets the pin.
Wait, from TNA?
Yeah. She actually beat.
Oh, if they're from TNA, she can win.
Yeah, she gets the pin on Dana Brooke.
Yes.
There are 2 other elegances that you could you could pin. Or is that Elegance? I'm not really sure how you pluralize, but
Good night.
they that's tough, you know. Like you both of these women doing that, and then you're gonna. So there was, but of course it was because Masha was looking at something else she shouldn't have, so she didn't get into the ring to count the pin on Jasmine Nix when Jasmine Nix was getting pinned by Dana Brooke, Ash by Elegance. And then when she finally did get into the ring, that is when that's when, you know, the rolling encore or whatever they call that thing hit her in the face.
Yes.
And pinned her. So
what I like about this is they were like, how can we make all of the TNA women look bad, including our special guest referee, who is put in there to be biased toward TNA.
Right.
But we make her look like an idiot once and then do a fair count to have her people lose. I think it's impressive how far out of their way they go to make TNA talent look bad. It's genuinely extremely creative. I think it's great.
So Jambir says that Dana and Ash is only 5'3". Then Dana Ash whatever. Dana Brooks 5'3". Then Heather is 4'8". like that's crazy.
Can she be Dana by Ash? Or Ash by Dana?
Oh no, it's pronounced Ash by Dana. By Dana.
I'm here for it.
Charlie Dempsey's giving advice to Kendall Gray. It's really awkward, you know, because acknowledging that Kaylee Ray doesn't exist anymore, and if Alba Fire was Kaylee Ray, the 680-day NXT UK Women's Champion, she probably should beat Kendall Gray in 3 minutes or whatever it was last week. But Alba Fire is not that. She is the secondary stooge for a woman who loses all the time on all three branches of NXT of WWE programming. So having her beat Kendall Gray as quickly as she did, while simultaneously being like, Kendall Gray 61-0 as a collegiate wrestler, that's really impressive. And 0-1 against one of the in canon worst wrestlers on the main roster is a really weird thing to do simultaneously to me. So her to be able to be like Charlie Dempsey, giving her pointers because she lost to one of the in canon worst wrestlers on the main roster. And then she gets to come back at him with like, yeah, but I won 61 in a row in college, and be like, how bad was the competition in college? Like, it's a weird thing to be doing those at the same time, but they do it because they like to walk that weird tightrope. But Ren is like, hey, don't give her advice like that. And then here comes the culling, and I missed Ren and Izzy and Tatum were all friends because she doesn't like that Charlie Dempsey said something mean about the culling. And they're like,
yeah, it was
this
weird.
group can't be saved, says Izzy. And then they all leave. This was a weird situation. I was really hoping that once they excised everybody else from Charlie Dempsey, that he would turn full bore evil dude and Red wouldn't want to have anything to do with him, and then she'd have her own stuff to do. But it just feels like they're hanging out, just a 2-person catch crew that doesn't do a lot of catching or crewing.
2 nickel catch crew. This was weird because even Tatum was like, what am I saying right now? Like, her face was not like how normally, because she's so great. Like, normally she's so locked in on her character. And I think she was like, wait, I'm friends with this person again? It was very weird.
Yeah. So
I'm really like, so nervous they're gonna fumble Tatum. I'm fully in the Tater corner, and
She's great.
I just don't want her to get lost in the shuffle, and I feel like she
I
is.
mean, yeah, I don't. I listen. The the main roster has a Nikki Cross. That's the niche that Tatum would take up. Like it's weird to be like you really some things you can't have multiples of because they're redundant. And so it's
Well,
weird to be like, like you've got to one of them is what you need and the other one like do we have a backup one of those in case Nikki Cross goes down with an injury? We
make
just
them a tag
put
team.
in Tatum Paxley with a mask on and we pretend that she's Sister Abigail. Nobody would know.
The men's tag team division is on notice. Call up Taters, make them a tag team. Ooh. Make them scare the hell out of best friends Alexa and Charlotte. Do it. Do something.
Orion make a choice. Says I'm here for a Kendall and Ren tag team for the vibes. Yeah, sure.
That would be actually very fun.
What they're doing with them currently, so other ideas are always welcome. Peace treaty time. Full disclosure: the only clip that is on social media is of Tyra May Steele reading the riot act to Chelsea Green. So I did appreciate that, but I don't know what led up to it. Can you explain to me why this why this is taking place?
I don't think the way to back into a match is through a peace treaty. That's not in history books.
I'm so confused because 2 weeks ago, Tavion Heights came down to talk to Ethan Page about getting a shot at the North American title. And then also Chelsea Green came out. And during that segment, what appeared to be happening is for Chelsea Green and Ethan Page to be like, we're great Canadians. And he's the North American champion. I'm the greatest U.S. champion ever. You're nothing. You don't even have a female friend who could help you out. Right? And then last week, Chelsea Green did a scouting report on a bunch of people, which included calling Kendall Gray Kendall Blue, but
correct.
Didn't apparently scout Tyra May Steele because she wanted to know who her eventual opponent would be in the inevitable mixed tag team match. And then this segment was for them to try to weasel out of having the match at all because they're going to have a peace treaty signed with the United States wrestlers. And all of that kind of feels like it's, I get. At the end of this, after the argument, escalated, Ava comes out and goes, okay, so obviously this doesn't look very peaceful. So here's what we're going to do. At Heatwave, it's going to be Ethan Page and Chelsea Green. And they go, oh, no. Against Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele in a mixed tag match. You can't do that to us. You are basically the ones who challenged Tavion Heights to find a partner in the first place. You are having this particular peace treaty signing to try and get out of the match. You are not allowed to then be surprised when the match is made. The reactions were as though they were told that their characters had never considered the possibility that they might actually be wrestling this mixed tag match. All of this makes zero sense.
It was way too long. It did not go great. I will say that unfortunately the women's six-way, the crowd reaction was, pins. I could hear them dropping here in Jersey.
Yeah.
This went on so long that even favorites the crowd was just kind of over it. Ethan Page is really good at the important thing of being a heel, of putting you over before I slap you down. So he had said to Tavion Heights, he was like, I'm not going to like sit here and call you a talentless hack. I think you're great. What I don't like is the way that you look at me, though. And there was some really good stuff with that. I appreciated that from Ethan, because it was, Tavion's like a little vulnerable. He hasn't had a lot going for him on the NXT roster. So I liked Ethan Page being like, I just don't like the way that you interact with me, but you have all the talent in the world. He did also say, I loved this, because he was just like, wrestling is more competitive than the Olympics. Because he was like, there's no silver or bronze medal in wrestling. There's a winner and there's a loser. And I kind of liked that, because he was talking to two shoot Olympians. And I actually thought that was like a pretty cute piece of heel work. And then Chelsea took over, and she kind of drove home the peace treaty aspect of it all. But because the crowd loves Chelsea, and because Philly is a heel crowd, they're sitting there chanting her name while she's putting over. She did a good job walking the tightrope of like, Canada is better than you, but also we don't want this match. That's not like an easy thing for a performer to nail.
Yeah.
And she did pretty good with it, but the crowd is cheering for them, but then they're also cheering for Tavion and Tyra May when they take over too. Talking about how they're Olympians, talking about how they're going to get them. So this was one of those segments that just like, I feel like everybody actually played their part pretty all right, but the format that it was in, the crowd reaction, the length of it, like all of that working against them just made it impossible. So like, I actually didn't hate what all the performers were given and gave us as far as performances. It was just, every time this show goes way off the rails, it's because they've done way too much. And they like, you can't even find a partner. Oh, you did. Oh, we got to find a way to get out of this match with this peace treaty. Like, they did way too much shit talking as well to make it believable that they're trying to call this match off. And then so Ava comes out and makes it, right? So I don't know. It was way too complicated, but I will say I very much appreciated Ethan Page's bright red blazer as well. Touche. Well done.
Oh, and then afterwards they get told they're going to have the match. They decide to attack their opponents and get put in ankle locks and immediately tap out. So it's going to be great when they get put in ankle locks all night on Sunday and don't tap out quickly. They'll just,
Hopefully the whole match is them avoiding ankle locks.
Yeah. Backstage, Miles is like, hey, Ricky Saints, what's up with Josh Briggs? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. You don't have to. Like, you could. I don't like. He looked at you askance as you passed him on the ramp. That's not a reason for a feud, really. You know,
wrestling would be so much better if everybody was like, sounds like a them problem, huh? Sounds like he's working through something. I'm gonna go stretch.
Yeah. Lexis King comes up to Miles Bourne and says that, I want to apologize and I was wrong about all this stuff, and it must be so difficult for you to go through life deaf and blind. He says, Lexis, I'm not blind. Then he sprays him in the face with pepper spray and says, well, you are now. Da-da-dun-da-dun-dun.
That's not how pepper spray works, though. You are blind for a couple of seconds, and then you have to take a painful shower.
I don't know.
I got pepper sprayed. Do you know this?
No.
I got mugged when I lived in New York.
You're supposed to carry the pepper spray to prevent mugging.
Here's the thing. I was on the Upper East Side at 8 p.m. And I remember it was 8 p.m. because I was going to buy a lime popsicle at the deli before WWE Raw. And a guy on a populated and lit street who they immediately caught tried to. I thought he was going after my laptop bag, but he was reaching for my cell phone, which is so funny because now that was like an iPhone 3 or whatever. And I kind of like fought him off, but he sprayed me and ran away. But I had seen like the woman that they all like worked in these networks, and I had to do the whole thing. I had to go down to the police station and identify him through the Law and Order SVU window. It's much smaller than on the show. And there's no swells of violin music at all.
No.
And to this day, I think I still have a restraining order against those people, but I didn't have to go to court because one of the people that they pepper sprayed actually did have their vision like messed with. So maybe Lexus King was on to something. Maybe I'm wrong. So there you go. I got mugged.
It's very rare for the mugger.
Was not there.
It's very rare for the mugger to use pepper spray. It's one of those things that, like, it feels like the mugger tried to mug some people and got pepper sprayed and said, "This stuff really works. I should get some of that and use that on the people I'm mugging." You know?
Well, if you're gonna be brazen enough to do it at 8 p.m. in a safe neighborhood, I think it's let me make sure they can't see me as I run away move.
Well, sure. That's also for
that
the problem. They can't see you if you bash their brains in with a brick. You know what I mean? They probably can't see you then either, but
like, you can't run away in a populated neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there were so many people on the street.
Yes.
But I remember being very hungry because I didn't eat dinner either, and I had to go through this whole process. And my sister got me a chicken parm
everything tasted like jalapenos for a while.
No, but I will say it, like, when you go to shower, it like activates. Sure. So you go to wash it off, and it just it's so painful.
That's why all the protesters, they rinse their face out with milk.
Oh, see, I didn't know that trick.
Yeah, you got to take a milk shower after you get pepper sprayed.
That's the problem with being vegan. I wasn't then though. I had a big fat chicken parm sub that my sister got me after that night.
This is one of like 2 segments on the show that was not posted to social media. Apparently.
Well, you described it perfectly.
No, this one, not that.
Oh, okay.
This one. Kalani and Lola are, talking about being people who are going to go after the NXT title, whatever. And Lola was like, "I was at Triple Mania," and then Lash walks up and says, "Yeah, well, you lost." That's all I'm reading here. I'm reading this.
They Please just like hyped up.
They don't point out the obvious comeback, and I'm hoping Lola was scripted to give this comeback to Lash, because Lash walks up and says, "Well, you lost at Triple Mania," and then I'm hoping Lola said, "Just like you lost last week to Nia Jax," because it's weird to be like, "Well, you lost a match recently," when you yourself have recently lost a match.
I don't remember if she snapped back. I don't remember if she snapped back.
Like, Lash is like, "I'm not in this match, but you better tread lightly," because says to Kalani, because I'm coming for that title, even regardless of whether or not I have recently lost a match that puts me not in contention for the title. Okay. Whatever. Dork State, Fart State is backstage with Ava in her office, just, gloating about winning. You put us with the top dogs in NXT and TNA last week, and we still beat them. So what are you gonna do now? So everyone's talking about us. No one's talking about what happened last week. No one's even talking about Joe Hendry. And he popped out of an armoire. And then his song played and he clapped his hands. And he's like, "Hi, guys, I'm not really here to ruffle any feathers. I just wanted to know, everyone's wondering which 2 of you guys are going to be fighting for the tag team titles at Heatwave. It's like, that's for us to know and you to find out. Everyone's going to find that out at the same time, including the general manager, who should probably just make us tell her right now." but they argue with it for a bit with Joe Hendry, and all of them have lines except for Cutler James because they're saving his line for last. But they say how like you want blah blah blah, you don't want to get it blah blah, you don't want to go against us because we're then one of these days we're going to come up behind you in a dark alley or something. And then everyone else leaves.
You don't want us to be behind you.
And Cutler walks up and says, "You don't want us behind you." And then so if it, I wish it had been a literal hook coming out from behind, from out to the camera and grabbing him around the neck and pulling him off screen as what can only be assumed to be Saquon Sugar says, "Man, why you gotta say it like that though?" This is terrible. This is the worst way to keep them as something intimidating that we might think could be Hank and Tank on Sunday, and who might have designs on doing something important at all in the future, is to make one of them the guy that accidentally says homosexual SA.
The ambiguously gay duo, if you remember from SNL.
Yeah, but that had a different tenor to it.
It definitely
famously than a group of young heels in a developmental wrestling program.
It feels like knockoff MXM, honestly. Like it's been a while since I did a chair slump.
Man, there's like a kind of tongue-in-cheek humor to MXM that is present entirely. Like it's, but the thing is, like if you can say they're doing the same thing ish, but the context of one group being the group that they've been the entire time and doing that the entire time, and us getting used to it and recognizing what's the next thing they're going to say. And it's always done in a playful manner. When everybody else leaves and Cutler James steps up with bass in his voice and is like, "You don't want us getting behind you." Like there's threat and malice there that has a different connotation to, I don't know, Mansois talking about footlong subs. You know what I mean? Like
they're male models too, right? So there's like a whole thing. Sorry, when I slump down, my dog thinks that means I'm gonna give her attention, so I have to sit back up. So the other thing is, like, it's the same joke. It's just him saying "be behind you" like over and over again.
Yeah, no, it's the same joke. Yes, it is. Yes.
Also, whilst I can appreciate that Joe Hendry now appears when his name is said, addressing my initial criticism with this whole thing.
Yeah.
Now I feel as though he is desperate because he's just hanging out in certain places until his name is said.
He's like, he popped out of that wardrobe like he was Mr. Tumnus. We're not. Do you have a lion and a witch in there, sir?
It is getting desperate. You're just hanging
out
in
Jericho and Isla Dawn in there with you, sir.
I just feel like there's a happy medium between showing up whenever you want, name spoken or not, and just waiting until your name is said. What if his name was never said? Would he never pop out of there? Would he move on to hide in a different room?
Yeah.
Feeling like a little bit of a pick-me bitch, Joe Hendry. I'll say it. Joseph.
What is the Mr. Tumnus? You never read Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe when you were in 6th grade or whenever they made us. You didn't watch that very awkward attempt at a it's a Lord of the Rings knockoff that they did in the late aughts. So they're like, we're going to adapt all of the books. No, just kidding. Only 3 of them, and the 3rd one was terrible. Let's just stop. Like, it's from Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Narnia.
There you go.
Yeah.
Your questions have been answered.
Yeah,
You know what,
Um,
Alex? I will say
what?
there's got to be a fun betting odd on where Joe Hendry would pop up next, but I
I thought we
would
could say there's no betting odds of what wrestling podcaster would make a Mr. Tumnus reference first.
no,
Because I think
that's
I
pretty
probably
obvious.
have the odds on that one.
I mean, yeah, but like there's not really anywhere that you can bet on wrestling anyway, so it's kind of all pointless. Nowhere that I
Yeah.
know of.
No, yeah, you couldn't do that.
I don't have a bookie.
No, but if if you had a bookie, what would you call a website?
Well, they'd be my bookie AG.
My Bookie AG is where Fightful is getting all of our odds, not just pro wrestling, which, yeah, you can bet on pro wrestling, UFC, boxing. That's where we're getting our odds from. If you're watching In the Weeds and they're talking about basketball odds, it's going to be from My Bookie AG. Use the code FIGHTFUL, get a $50 bonus when you deposit $100, or get a $100 bonus when you deposit $200. Check it out. If you think you know more than the average wrestling fan, head over to MyBookie. They have some odds up all the time for upcoming events, whether it be WWE, AEW, anybody. Make sure you check them out in addition to their other fantastic deals. They've been around for quite a while, very reliable. MyBookie AG. Use that code FIGHTFUL. Now, only bet what you can, and please bet responsibly, but head over, see what lines they got now. Not just for pro wrestling. Maybe you're interested in baseball, football, basketball, soccer, or just football again, right? My Bookie AG.
Suck it, Joe Hendry. We made my bookie appear because we said their name. And Sean Ross Sapp. I got a 2-for-1 on appearances just from summoning my bookie. So, tell you what, you don't even need to know that much more than the average wrestling fan. You just got to be subscribed to Fightful Select for some lock
right.
picks if you want to make some money.
Money. There were 2 interviews, Trick and Javon, about this
Intrigued?
match. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
I appreciated that Trick said, "You're bouncy. I'm going to bounce you back to high school." That made me laugh. I liked that one.
That's good.
Zing.
And then the match. The Oba is sitting in a box, overlooking everything up in the theater, sitting up there by himself, like he's Lincoln, overlooking everything, and he's there watching to see who it's going to be. Who's going to be his number 1 contender? And they show him up there, and Trick looks up there a few times during the match. That's important for later when they try and explain why the match ended the way it did. So, listen. Javon Evans needs to not do stuff sometimes. The fact that he can do stuff doesn't mean he should do stuff. Like, so I can only assume it was he who pitched this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to jump from the apron up to springboard, and you're going to catch me. You're going to catch me up there, and I'm going to be standing kind of wobbling on the top rope. And then on the count of 3, you're going to shove me, and I'm going to bounce off the top rope and just I'm going to coffin drop myself onto the announce table. And I'm here to say to Javon Evans, maybe don't. Maybe don't, because I want this guy to have a very full and diverse career of doing amazing stuff. I want to watch him do this for as long as I still cover professional wrestling. I want him to be still doing it. I think he's got 20 years of doing amazing stuff if he doesn't do stuff like this too often, because here's the deal with this particular stunt. He overshot
He
the
does that a
announce
lot.
table. He went so far that basically his belt, like his waist, is the highest thing on his body that hit as he was going backwards onto the announce table was his waist. So then, which just propelled him, because what that's going to do is teeter-totter you. So the back of his head went straight into right where the announcers had been sitting. Like, that's the kind of thing that you do it wrong, that's it for you. Curtains. And I just don't want to see that. And the fact that the problem with that is because he is basically made out of rubber. Like, he does that, and then he does all these other friggin' ridiculous things in the match after that happened. Like, and so he's just going to keep doing it until something catastrophic happens. And I don't want that for him. Like, sometimes these guys feel invincible. And the only thing that makes them not feel that is when something goes wrong. I hope it's just, I badly sprained my knee, I'm going to be out for a few months. And not, I tore my Achilles, I might never wrestle like this ever again. You know what I mean? You just want something. I don't want anything bad to happen to that kid. He's the joy that he brings to professional wrestling is almost unmatched. Like, he's like a 14-year-old on a trampoline in his backyard, made it to the big time. You know what I mean? Like, he has no compunction about anything. Like, he'll do it. Whatever comes into his head, he'll do it. He's like, he's just hanging out with his friends, doing ridiculous stunts, jumping off the roof onto a trampoline, because let's see what happens. You know what I mean? And then you make it to the big time, you do that, and all of a sudden something goes wrong, and you're no longer in the big time. You're in a big wheelchair. You're in big traction.
Well, we don't want that.
No.
Yeah, they're gonna have to change his intro to, like, your boy is alarmingly bouncy, because he overshoots. Yeah. Sometimes it's frequent enough that it's like, okay, we gotta maybe rein this in. And listen, at 21 or whatever he is, I felt invincible, having not even an iota of physical capabilities that he does. I just did because I was an idiot 21-year-old, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think it would behoove them to maybe rein in some of these spots. That being said, like, careers end on much less risky things.
That's
careers
true.
Thrive on crazy things, because I have the same reactions I have watching him. I have, like, once every 8 Will Ospreay matches too. But I think part of it is because he is so young, and because so much of it, Alex, is like him just overshooting because he's nuts with this stuff. Like, it's incredible, but then it becomes really dangerous when you miss the mark. It's like, that's right. What you're missing the mark with is your whole body, which includes your neck and your spine and your knees and your arms. He's a phenom to watch, but there's been a few times now where I'm like, is the risk reward factor is just not high enough there. Especially because this match was going to end in an interference anyway.
Well, I mean, no, it ended in a distraction, but But he was scheduled to win it, which means that in NXT PLE, he's got a one-on-one match for the world title. And in 4 days, let's say that wasn't enough to put him out of action for a while, but it is enough, whatever injury he would incur doing that ridiculous stunt, that, you're going to be, let's say, 65% for the biggest match of your career. You don't want that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's weird. It's an odd, if I would say this, maybe you don't do this in this match, but if you want to do this, this is a spot you do with Oba at the PLE. in the biggest match, like showing that you're willing to come back from whatever you possibly can. And if Oba is going to win, which I expect that he would, maybe the story is because I attempted that ridiculous thing and got caught and got punished for it, I didn't have enough left in the tank to win the match versus Oba. And that's the storyline of the first match. And by the second match, he's attempting fewer things. And by the third match, when he actually beats him, he does it in ways where I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be safe. But he has to do the big stunt to win the match, to actually become the champ. And then he does it, and then he nails it. And you could do fun stuff with the storyline if that's what they're actually going to do. I don't know. The other thing that happened here was that they did the Mustafa Ali RKO block where he went to a handstand, and they ended up losing the match immediately afterwards. They did that exact same counter with Trick Williams blocking the super cutter, and he ended up losing the match a couple of minutes later. I feel like if you're going to give a guy that counter to an uncounterable move, maybe just go ahead and have him win it. Mustafa Ali came out years later and said that Randy Orton backstage that we probably should just had you win. That was such like we were watching video of it. He was watching video of the counter and been like, that was so sick, man. We probably should have had the kid go over. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out later. But when you have something that becomes iconic, like the counter of the RKO into a handstand by Mustafa Ali was iconic. But everyone also goes, yeah, and then he lost the match a minute later. Like it was like you could figure out a way to like make that work. So this thing, borrowing that and then also having him lose it. But the reason he lost it wasn't that. The reason he lost it was because he was setting up for a trick knee. And he took 2 steps and then glanced up and to his right. And the guy who was in the box up there is no longer there. Oba's not there anymore. Now it's Mike Santana. So he is so struck by the momentary sight of Mike Santana watching this match that he has to stop and look up at it and then take a cutter and another cutter and lose. Like distraction by a guy at ringside who you think might attack you, that's bad enough. Distraction by a dude 3 floors up, 100 feet from you, that's next level of being distracted by things.
Also, like, how dumb can they make this? Like, Mike Santana doesn't win in his hometown, and the next major chess move he makes as a New York boy is let me show up at a box in Philadelphia. That'll get me the reaction so that I can go win in Massachusetts, another territory that famously loves New Yorkers. How are they? This whole Santana thing is so insanely stupid. Like, I'm sorry. It's insanely fucking stupid that they did not just strap this guy up at Slammiversary. It's ridiculous. This isn't doing Trick that many favors. He's doing fine, but he would be doing fine without this title, right? They turned it upside down because, Alex, he's turned the brand upside down. Nobody else from TNA seems to care that both their titles are just hijacked.
Yeah.
This is awful wrestling television. It is thoughtless wrestling television. And to then have Santana go into territories that don't like New Yorkers, when you could have just crowned him in his hometown, is miles beyond stupid at this point. And the handling of it after that has been also very stupid. Yeah. I don't get it. And you're planning on packing out Massachusetts for him to have his big moment so that you can run back the Dudleys and the Hardys, or what's left of them, for this match? Like, yeah. I don't know, man. This is really dumb.
Yes.
This all reads as really, really stupid to me. Not to mention the distraction of, who's that up in the box I see? Like,
yeah.
Wrestle the match you're in, weirdo. Why do you even care or know that anybody got swapped out? It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
It's bad.
It is very weird.
Sucks. Stinks.
Meet Normus says current temp is 69 degrees. I'm wearing my meat shirt. It's dark and I'm wearing sunglasses. Let's crank. 4 years and 3 months sour. Acknowledge meat. We will always acknowledge meat.
I do just want to address this real quick. TNA wrestlers care a lot that their belts are NXT. They're just not appearing on NXT. I would argue they don't care that much then because they're not showing up to the place where the belts are.
Right.
If someone doesn't watch TNA and your belts are held hostage on a separate program, I have no window unless I watch TNA and into knowing that.
Right.
And it's hard for me to buy that they care when they won't simply show up to the place where those belts are. It's beyond me.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to mention this because it's something that I talked about, I don't know, a year ago. I think the perfect guy to beat Obafemi for that title is Javon Evans eventually.
1,000,000%.
I think him having this first match, having a great match, but losing, where Oba's never really in danger, and then having a second match, and then him coming so close to beating Oba, but Oba wins. And then the third match, Javon wins. That's the perfect trilogy to set this whole thing up. And by the end, when you have Oba lose, he knows he lost to the better man that night. He shakes Javon's hand like he moves to the main roster. That's the perfect thing for this because it makes Javon Evans as a new star, as the new top guy in the brand, a baby face we all love and love to watch and love to root for. And then Obafemi has a fantastic last act as champion. He puts over this kid who's on his way up, and then he himself goes up to the main roster where, let's be honest, I'm not say I would have said maybe a year ago, I think he's bulletproof. I know that they're not doing great stuff with other people, but I think Obafemi's bulletproof. Now I'm not so sure. But he's tremendous, and they need to use him to what he can be. But he's great. He can't be the champion of NXT forever. I wish he could, kind of. He makes Tuesday fun sometimes. But
I feel like as long as I'm watching it, I wish.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, Jambeard is saying that Cutler's jokes feel like 2009 PG era DX.
Yeah, it's apparently in his tryout, he was making these jokes and it popped everybody that he was using
good.
these
That's
double
nice.
entendres.
That's so wonderful. What a great thing. Reverie says Ava called Dark State fruity on Twitter, which could be okay coming from an openly queer person, maybe, but in this context, yeah, I don't know. It's
not great. Not the worst, but not great.
Not the worst, but not the. Jambeard says that Ego and President Chelsea are the baby faces in this. I'm not biased at all, coming from a Canadian. Well, yeah, no, all of this is silly. Where you have like, we are in America. Better yet, Philadelphia. And in Philadelphia, we speak our minds. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's no longer free speech anymore. So let's not.
Well, there's a lot of Americans who aren't like stoked with how things are going. So that doesn't really work. But it's the 90s and people are like, oh my gosh, we invented the internet a couple minutes ago. This is great. Like there's it's a little different of a vibe, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people who are like, Ethan Page, I'll follow you to Canada right now.
Jambeard decides he's going to predict the darkest timeline. Or Alex, WWE can do its normal thing. Javon Evans beats him very soon, so Oba can move to the main roster and become El Grande Obacano.
Blocked. Suspended.
Sorry, Jambeard. Alpha Bill says that an armbar in French is an armoire. Okay. Hold on. Did I get? Okay, I think these are almost all of them are puns. So here we go. Orion Ben. Oh, well, he says maybe tonight could have been better with. Nothing would have made tonight better. I'm not really sure what would have made it better, but yeah. Meet Normus says, here we go. The diaper Randy Orton. Similac Sabre Jr. Placentala Tonga. Let's see. Just Ricardo says embryo sky.
Embryo Sky is very funny.
C. Delgado says Ricky Storks. Tegan Knoxed Up. The Rebel's son. Bam Bam Bigelow. The Child Samoans. The Wild Samoans, but the Child Samoans. And Alba Pacifier.
Very nice.
Let's see here. Jim Dukers says Diaper Dallas Page. Infantino Morella, the High Criers, and High Charlotte Flair.
Very nice.
Orion Ben says Pacifier Martinez. Whose crib? Swerve's crib. Boop. Let's see here. Lupongi Vice says Horn Swaddle. Horn Swaddle. And
Very nice.
Sleep Sack Saber Jr.
There's a great series of him just reading children's book and calling children dickheads. So it's got to exist in my timeline.
Just Ricardo says, it's a newborn. Yes, it is.
Very nice.
Known as that.
Are you unstarring them as we go along for my OCD?
I'm trying now.
You're a legend.
Just Ricardo says, "Wah! Feed me more." Get it? Because when they cry, they're actually saying, "Feed me more."
I like it.
Louisville says, "Placenta El Cerro Miedo." And gestation of domination.
Wow.
That's really good. Everett Smith says, "Wheeler Uterus." The Cradle, Kenny Omega, and Nanny Neidhart. Nanny Neidhart is very good.
Amazing.
Jambeard says the Samoan Swaddle team, the Canadian Crib Face, our toddler, we the ones, and they the terrible twos. Louisville says lack legend, lactation legend, and Heterocervix.
Nice.
Heterocervix is crazy. The baby comes out and it's just like this. Jambeard says, well, it's the big baby.
I like it.
I missed one. Uh-oh. Jambeard says, wino. Lord Kez says the impregnation of fertilization.
Very nice.
Let's see here. Jambeard says tonight, due to the baby funds, feels like the perfect episode for a Blue Chew ad. I don't know.
Ironically, not.
Jambeard says that Lou Booton sounds like he runs a dry cleaners.
He definitely does.
Or a sous shop. You know.
Or a sous shop.
Booton. I like this one a lot from Lieutenant Photo. A lot. Negative onesie. Let's see here. Jambeard says, was that voice Ricky Rainbow's sister named Kitty Rainbow? Your little Cockney thing that you did for
It might have been.
Greg Cherry says Oshkosh Big Josh.
He knows how to speak.
We love you, Greg Cherry.
We do.
Silver Apocalypse says contraction signing. Flatback baby bump. And Lulla Byron Saxton.
Well done. Very well done.
Let's see here. Meet Norma says Jimboria Ripley. Jimboria Ripley.
Very nice.
Evan Bjorn. A baby Bjorn. And Pediatric Williams. The cesarean section. Lord Kev says instead of the culling, it's the crawling. Kazarian section, Frankie Kazarian section, and Baby Doll.
Well
Meet
played.
Norma says all Perry Saturn.
Off air, he said.
Nursery Knox. Adam Cole, baby. Oh, Adam. Meet Norma says Jade car seat.
Very good.
Bam Bam baby clothes. And the infantry.
Very well played.
Alpha Bill says Damien pressed milk. Pressed milk. And just Ricardo says Techno Toddler 2000.
Very nicely done.
Very good.
Very nicely done.
Yes, Jambier, this could actually be about any storyline. Says the way the guys describe this storyline is basically the Homer mobile, where Homer, aka the WWE fans, love it, but everyone else thinks it's the worst. Yeah.
That's
Like
exactly.
that. You remember that classic episode?
Oh my God, I wrote it.
Where they guest starred Danny DeVito as Homer's long lost half brother, who was the CEO of an automobile company, a car company, and had his half brother Homer, who he was so happy to meet, design his new car. But because it's Homer and he's dumb, he designed the worst possible car ever. You know that classic episode.
It was all my idea. I wrote it.
Okay. Just Ricardo says,
You
so
could have
NXT,
lied about
huh?
everything you made up, and I would have been like,
How was
sure.
that? Yes, it's Simpsons of Blind. Simpsons of Blind. Where I just tell you the plot of Simpsons episodes and you decide whether or not they're true. NXT, it was basically what yes. This is it. So there's a theme here I'm seeing. Jambeard wants Darby to sing various songs from K-pop Demon Hunters, which is a thing that I'm trying to keep from my daughter. It just seems wrong.
I don't know things.
It's apparently the #1 show on Netflix, and I
know it's a sensation, but I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know things.
Okay. All right. Well, here we. Okay. What do we have the lyrics here, or is that it's working? Take down, take down, take down, 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 down. Take down, take down, take down, 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 down. It's a takedown. So sweet, so easy on the eyes, but hideous on the inside. Whole life spreading lies, but you can't hide. Baby, nice try. I'm about to switch up these vibes. I finally opened my eyes. It's time to kick you straight back into the night. 'Cause I see your real face and it's ugly as sin. Time to put you in your place 'cause you're rotten within. When your patterns start to show, it makes the hatred want to grow out of my veins. I don't think you're ready for the takedown. Break you into pieces in a world of pain because you're all the same. Yeah, it's a takedown. A demon with no feelings don't deserve to live. It's so obvious. I'ma gear you up and take you down. Whoa, da down. It's a takedown. Malachi Black. This is another one. Your idol. I can just go ahead and just easily now Google these. There we go. Again, Darby singing this. Pray for me now, play for me now, pray for me now. There's a lot of saying that. Keeping you in check, keeping you obsessed. Play me on repeat in your head. Anytime it hurts, play another verse. I can be your sanctuary. No, I'm the only one right now. Now, I will love you more when it all burns down. More than power, more than gold. Yeah. Now you gave me your heart. Now I'm here for your soul. I'm the one who loves your sins. Feel the way my voice gets underneath your skin. Listen, cause I'm preaching to the choir. Can I get the mic a little higher? Give me your desire. I can be the star you rely on. You rely on. You can't look away, hey? Don't you know I'm here to save you? Now we running wild. Yeah, I'm all you need. I'm gonna be your idol. El Idolo. Darby just saying golden. from K-pop Demon Hunters.
I'm using my Fightful creative control to call a different impression because this is getting out of control.
I believe you're right.
Because I missed this wrestler, I'm gonna call for Giovanni Vinci.
Oh, that sounds great.
We haven't done it in a long time.
Not a long time. Let's see here. All right, I think I have one more of these, so feel free to come up with another one.
I will.
Okay. Here we go. I was a ghost, I was a loner. Given the throne, I didn't know how to believe it. I was a queen, a damn I meant to be. I live 2 lives, try to play both sides, but I couldn't find my own place. Called a problem child because I got it too wild. But that's how I getting paid. Coot the toopsie on the stage. But doesn't hide now I'm shining like I'm born to be. With a dream in the heart, we came so far, and now I believe we're going up, up, up. It's our moment. We're going together, we're glowing, gonna be golden. Up, up with our voices. It is a lot in Korean, which I do not speak or read. So I cannot read it in Korean. Sorry. Who sings Soda Pop?
Let's throw it back to William Regal.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm sparing you Ludwig Kaiser because I know that's a rough one.
Oh, that's very rough. And if I was doing that now, I'd have to do it all in Spanish.
True.
Okay. Hey, 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 hey. Don't want you, I need you. Yeah, I need you to fill me up. Got a feeling that, oh, yeah, you could be everything that I need. Taste so sweet, sweet. Every sip makes me want more, yeah. Looking like snacks, 'cause you got it like that. Take a big bite, want another bite, yeah. When you're in my arms, I hold you so tight, so tight. Can't let go, no, not tonight. Matter the mask, 'cause I need you to need me. I'm empty, you feed me. So refreshing, my little soda pop, my little chock full of corn syrup you are. Okay, that's good. We're done with that. Rafael Garcia wants Linda and Sheila to duet "I'm a Bitch" by Crystal Hanson. Is that the same one from the 90s by Meredith Brooks, or is it a different one? I only know that Meredith Brooks one.
We're about to find out. It is.
It's the same one.
It is.
It's weird that like there's a now apparently a more famous cover.
I guess so. Or just a songwriting credit or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh no, this was 2022. Learn your originals, people.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, hold on. Lord knows this applies to us both. I hate the world today. Don't you just hate the world today? I hate it. You hate it. We all hate it. I hate the world today. You're so good to me. I know, but I can't change. Tried to tell you, but you look at me like maybe I'm an angel underneath. Innocent and sweet. Yesterday I cried. You must have been relieved to see the softer side. I can understand how you'd be so confused. I don't envy you. I'm a little bit of everything, all rolled into one. Take it, Sheila.
I'm a bitch. I'm a lover. I'm a child. I'm a mother. I'm a sinner. I'm a saint. I do not feel ashamed.
Don't feel ashamed. Never be ashamed.
I do not. Not at this age. No more.
Nope.
I'm your hell. I'm your dream. I'm nothing in between. You know you wouldn't want it any other way. So take me as I am. This may mean you'll have to be a stronger man. Rest assured that when I start to make you nervous and I'm going to extremes, tomorrow I will change, and today won't mean a thing. Take it home, Linda.
I'm a bitch. I'm a lover. I'm a child. I'm a mother. I'm a sinner. I'm a saint. I do not feel ashamed. I'm your hell. I'm your dream. I'm nothing in between. You know you wouldn't want it any other way.
That was beautiful.
Of course it was beautiful, because we're being honest about who we are as ourselves.
It is, and I will not feel ashamed.
No, don't. We should.
I
We
don't.
can't. We
I
shan't.
will not.
Hold on. Let's see. Going to get this, this, and then we're going to do that. We're going to leave that one because we're not going to read that. Here we go.
Wait, did you skip the one complimenting my hair?
I haven't seen it. It's not there for me.
Nice
So-
hair. You can pick who this compliment is for. Is it for me or is it for Ricky Rainbow? It's a toss-up.
It's
Who's
for
to say?
me.
But I'll say thank you in case it was intended at me. But I think it's the beautiful hair blowing in the wind of one Richard Rainbow II. Are you
Richard
a junior?
No.
I don't know.
I'm the one and only.
One
I'm-
of one. I love it.
No. Because my father's name was Robert. He was Bobby Rainbow. But I am named after my maternal grandfather.
Oh, are you?
Which is odd
course
because
you are.
he also had the same surname of Rainbow. It's weird
That
two
is.
people who had the last name of Rainbow would meet and fall in
I
love.
hope they did like a blood test
No.
to make sure they weren't related.
No, we did all that. It's not related at all. Just had similar hair, but it's funny because I'm named after him, but he didn't go by Ricky.
Oh, Richard? Dick
No,
Rainbow?
Dick Rainbow. Dick Rainbow. It was very confusing at times for people. They didn't know what he was talking about. He said, "No, that's my name."
I just need to post Dick Rainbow.
Anywho,
How do you
life
feel about
is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like home. When you call my name, it's like a little prayer. Down on my knees, I want to take you there in the midnight hour. I can feel your power just like a prayer. You know I'll take you there. I hear your voice. It's like an angel sighing. I have no choice. Yeah, I hear your voice. Feels like flying. I close my eyes. Oh God, I think I'm falling out of the sky. I close my eyes. Heaven help me. When you call my name, baby, it's like a little prayer. I'm down on my knees. You know I'll take you there. In the midnight hour, I can feel your power. Just like a prayer. You know I'll take you there, baby. And by there, I mean to wrestler heaven.
Of course. Where else? Any tips
Anyway,
on for how to
guess that's
stow
it,
away
yeah.
on a flight to
No,
England?
listen. You are cutting it close. I do
I'm
not
cutting
believe
it
unless you are going by speedboat, you'll be able to make a nautical journey to.
But by flight, any
by flight.
thoughts on how I can speak onto a plane?
Bundle up because it is very cold in the luggage compartment, and I need you to jump over a fence on the outer perimeter of the airport, and then jump over the inner perimeter fence as well, and then make your way through the tarmacs and the runways until you come to the plane. Make sure you got the right one because you don't want to end up in Timbuktu. And then go up under the wheel well of the landing gear, and you should be fine in there. As long as you're bundled up.
Is extremely specific and helpful information. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. That's how we do it.
Did you know that it's Jambeard's birthday as of 20 minutes ago?
Happy birthday, Jambeard!
Happy birthday, Jambeard!
Happy birthday to you, you Canadian fly devil. You old so-and-so. That's hard times.
So it's
You old so-and-so. It's hard times, you so-and-so. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to say this. Keep cool, gabagools.
yeah.